see who's here. Good morning. It's a little early, but we're gonna see who's here. Ooh. Give this a few minutes. I just want to kind of fill you guys in on where I've been and what has been going on. Good morning. Good morning. Who's here? Hi, hi, hi. It's been an insane couple of weeks, you guys, and I know that I haven't uploaded very much, and it's not because I haven't wanted to. This is just the time of year where work is really insane for me. Like, really insane. It's wedding season, so that means that every weekend is filled with wedding photography, and during the week, I'm doing a lot of preparation for those weddings. So, on-site consults and all of that sort of thing. But I wanted to kind of pop in and just say hi quickly and just kind of let you guys know that we're here, we're alive, everything's fine, we're just really crazy. That's it. There's not a whole lot of reason. Okay, there we go. So I don't usually come on this early. Good morning, Kendra. It's like 10:30 my time, maybe a little after, but I had a few minutes and I just wanted to kind of like fill you guys in. This time of year, I really have a tendency to get carried away with all of my photo studio stuff. So I knew that it was going to be hard for me to keep up with social media and with my full-time job. So I've had a lot of you reach out to me and check in on us and make sure that we're okay. And we definitely are. I'm just crazy busy. That's it. Not a ton to report. I've also not been doing a ton of crazy cooking because I just haven't had the time. So I've been doing a lot of already prepared Flex Pro meals and kind of doing meal prep one day and just really simple stuff. A lot of, you know, hard-boiled eggs and salads and cut up meat. Nothing crazy. I miss being able to get in the kitchen every day and cook these elaborate meals, but this time of year it just doesn't really happen. So, how was Easter? Ours was great. We basically just hung out in the backyard all day. Florida problems. We really just did like a backyard hangs and played on the swing set all day, and we did an egg hunt with the boys. It was really, really fun and just relaxed. We didn't have to do a ton of like running around, which was really cool. I really like to stay home on holidays, and I know that that's not always feasible, but we did it. Hey guys, there's everybody. I was wondering if you guys were going to be able to pop in. It's a little bit early, and because I haven't been uploading regularly, you might not be getting notified that I'm going live because YouTube is funny like that. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm just going to reiterate what I was saying when I was kind of talking to myself. I miss you guys terribly. This time of year is bananas for me. It's wedding season, and I know you guys keep hearing me say it's wedding season, but what that means is that my weekends are loaded with work and weddings, and during the week, I'm busy doing preparations for the wedding ahead. So on-site consults, prepping all of my equipment, and I still have a lot of like family shoots in the evening. So to say that I've been really busy is an absolute understatement. I have been insane, really. And when it's crazy like this, I don't cook a lot. And you guys know that I basically only vlog when I have something to show you. I don't typically do a vlog that's just, hi, how's it going? So I've been a little boring and a little quiet, but I miss you guys so much, and I just wanted to pop in and say hi and tell you that we're thinking about you. Everything is fine. Those of you that have reached out concerned, I understand, and we miss you guys too. Everything is totally fine. We're just crazy. We're crazy busy. Those of you that do your own YouTube channels and do your own social media content, you know it is kind of a job all on its own, and I just haven't had the time to create what I feel really proud of. So when I don't have the time, I typically don't upload. But I miss you guys. I miss our little chats, and I miss our little chats in the comments. So I definitely wanted to come in and say hello and tell you that I've been thinking about you. Aw, Chastity, thanks. Oh, Kendra. I mean, a couple weeks on the marinara, at least. I have a tendency to let it go a couple weeks. I'm sure that if you looked it up, it would say a week, but I've never had an issue of doing it, using it, a couple weeks worth. It doesn't last very long in our house, but I have a jar in there now that I made 2 weeks ago, and I'll probably use it for dinner tonight. The marinara keeps really well, especially if you have it in a really tight-fitting container. Hi, Christina. Yeah, the marinara is delicious. I could basically just eat it by the spoonful. It's so good and so easy, and definitely much cheaper than buying low-carb marinara in the store. Yes, you can definitely freeze it. You can freeze it as well. How is your Easter, you guys? Was it wonderful? We seriously just played outside all day. It was great. The weather on Easter in Florida was magical. Absolutely magical. Oh, Juanita, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. That's amazing. I love the chicken tenders, and I've been craving them so hard. They're a little labor intensive and a little time consuming, so I need to get my life together and make them. They're one of my favorite things. Did you do the pickle ones or the regular ones? I know, Chastity, I'm so excited for you. I was wearing your adoption fundraiser shirt out to the grocery store the other day, and a lot of people were like, what? They had questions. They had questions. Yeah, the chicken tenders are messy, but man, they're delicious. What are you guys doing today? You guys working, or are you at home? What is the scoop? Nice. Where in Tampa? Like Tampa proper? Ugh, I love wings in the air fryer. The only hitch to that for me is that I feel like it doesn't fit enough. So I feel like it takes me an hour and a half to cook dinner because I'm just doing round after round of wings. Aw, Mimi, that sucks. No, that's amazing. Yay. Yeah, that's proper Tampa. Tampa's a really big city. There's a lot of little sub-cities right outside of Tampa that are included. I love Busch Gardens. I want to take my kids there. Listen, not really. There's not really a sub for the pickle juice. And to be honest, when I need the pickle juice for a recipe, I just buy it from the dollar store. So it's a buck, It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Oh, the chili's so good. We haven't had that in a while. I've been really hot on the taco soup. So I made a massive batch of that. It was like a double and then some batch, and it lasted us almost a week. Dan and I were eating it every single day. It was so good. Oh, if you ask my kids how old I am, they'll tell you that I'm 7. Oh my God, the taco soup is so freaking good and so easy. It's a really indulgent soup, definitely high calorie, definitely high fat, but a very small serving is really satisfying. So I'm obsessed. Obsessed. Yeah, I do Chinese food at home. I say Chinese food, but it's like Americanized Chinese. We really like to do the cauliflower rice with shrimp and the YumYum sauce. And then we do stir fry a lot too. And that's a really quick and easy meal, something that you can just throw together without a ton of effort. And those are the kind of recipes that I'm really leaning on right now, so I don't derail from my progress. When I'm busy, it's a huge trigger for me. It's very easy for me to make excuses when I am not cooking. So it's very, very easy for me to be like, oh, well, just grab something quick or just get takeout. And I might enjoy it in the moment, but it makes me feel like crap. It makes my stomach hurt, all of those things. So when we're busy like this, I just really do rely on those super easy staples. So some of my favorite easy keto dinners, I love just a regular salad with grilled chicken. Dan typically once a week, once a week we'll grill up a huge pack of chicken breasts and we'll use that in recipes all week. So a salad with grilled chicken is really easy and something I can throw together. I love the shrimp fried cauliflower rice. That's really easy and one of my absolute favorite meals, period. Even if I wasn't eating keto, I would still adore that meal. I could put YumYum sauce on anything and it just makes my whole life. Yes, chastity. I hear that a lot about my coleslaw, actually. I didn't like it when I was younger, but it's really grown on me. Now it's one of my most favorite things in the world. It's cold, it's crunchy, it's a little sweet. It just hits all of those bells for me. Katie, yeah, take your time. Not everyone just dives in and goes strict keto. Sometimes you have to kind of ease your way in and get your body used to it and get your brain there. I'm a huge proponent of going low carb before you go strict keto. I think it really does help you get your life together and figure out what you can and cannot eat. Sometimes when you just dive right in, it can be overwhelming. So I always tell people to start slow and start eliminating the really obvious carbs first. So bread, tortillas, rice, pasta, soda, the really obvious ones, start kicking those out first. What is YumYum Sauce? YumYum Sauce is my take on the delicious sauce that you get when you go to like a hibachi restaurant. So if you were to go and have hibachi and they do it all on the grill in front of you, they typically give you a couple of different sauces. YumYum Sauce is that really light pink delicious sauce that you really want to dump on everything. I don't know the recipe off the top of my head, but it has mayonnaise, melted butter, water, paprika, a little sugar-free ketchup, a couple of other ingredients. If you go to my Instagram, the recipe for YumYum Sauce is pinned right at the top in my highlights. It is definitely one of the most delicious sauces, and you could put it on anything. It's really great just on meat in general. So if you were to have some some meal prepped meat, like some chunks of steak or some chunks of chicken, I love to just dunk it into that as a little snack. You're going to read the ingredients and you're going to be like, really? I don't know. But I swear to God, when you make it, you are going to wish that you made a quadruple batch and you will want to put it on everything you ever eat. It is so freaking good. So, so good. I use the Alterna Sweets ketchup in my YumYum sauce. The reason that I love that one is because it's just really tomato-y. But if you don't have Alterna Sweets and you're using the G. Hughes ketchup, you don't need extra sweetener with the G. Hughes one. Yeah, I hear that all the time, that keto is expensive, but I feel like processed food is a hell of a lot more expensive. Yeah, the YumYum sauce should hang out in the fridge for at least an hour. It's best if you leave it overnight, but it's very hard for me to do that. I usually will make it a few hours before we're going to use it for dinner. You guys will love it. If you haven't made the YumYum sauce yet, I highly recommend. It's even good on eggs. You can use it as the liquid for deviled eggs as well, and that is just unreal. It's so good. So, so good. Yeah. One of my favorites. Hello, Bambi. What time is it in Denmark? Do you guys want to talk about Game of Thrones? Are you guys Game of Thrones fans? Are you watching? Are you living for this? I'm already freaking emotional knowing that on Sunday, the next episode of Game of Thrones is going to be a heartbreaker. I just know it. There's only 4 episodes left for the whole series, and I know that they're going to kill everyone that I care about. It's like if you guys don't watch, I'm not going to bore you with it, but it is the most heart-wrenching show that I've ever watched. It really does rip my heart out, and it has for many, many seasons. It's so good. You know what I'll tell you 2 other shows that Dan and I are really into right now. They're both on regular TV, but I'm sure you could probably get them on Hulu. We watch The Resident and 911. And we love both of those. They're such good shows. Now, I do know, because I have a dispatcher friend, and they say that 911 is really unrealistic. And then all of my, nurse friends, they say that The Resident is also really unrealistic. I know that it is, but my God, they're so freaking good. Like, that show, The Resident, is just amazing. So many plot twists, and it's just very dramatic. Very, very, very good. Oh my God, SMG, how cute is Buck, the character in 911? Isn't he just the cutest ever? A lot of people, I think, had trouble getting into Game of Thrones. The first season is really, this is the thing with Game of Thrones. It is a very, very, very involved storyline. So what I mean by that is if you're one of those people that's trying to watch a television show while multitasking, like you're trying to fold laundry, you're trying to catch up on emails, Game of Thrones will not make sense to you. You have to be completely invested and pay very, very close attention to what is going on, or it's confusing. So I get that it can be kind of difficult to get into. If you're a book reader, you should read the series. It's really incredible. Really, really incredible. Yeah, and The Resident, we've watched that since the beginning, and I just love it. I like medical shows and medical dramas a lot. I've just always found it fascinating. But anytime I post on my Facebook, like, oh, I love this show, people that are in the medical field or that do dispatch just remind me that it's really unrealistic. Yeah, this is the thing. Parts of The Resident that are unrealistic are just that. They're unrealistic. But I do think that it does shine a light on how often there are issues in the hospital and things that maybe could have been prevented, and maybe there are just mistakes made in the hospital. And I think that people have a tendency not to talk about that. So I like that it brings that to light. There was an episode, I think it was last week's, of The Resident where it was a very racially driven episode. And basically what they were saying is that statistically, more Black women die in childbirth in the hospital than white women. And I looked it up because I was really just, I don't know, put off, and I was really upset. It was a very, very upsetting episode. If you are someone that cannot handle sad things happening in television, or if you get really invested, it is a difficult show to watch. But This was really, it was just an incredible episode, but it really did shine a light on how racially, statistically, things are unjust. And I think you guys all know that. I think we all are aware that statistically there is a lot of things that we can't explain. And it just, maybe there are a lot of people that aren't aware. So a show like that, being able to kind of shine a light on that and just bring awareness, I think is really important. But we love it. So The Resident and 911, we love. Someone just asked which comedies we watch. I love Superstore. There was a show that I loved on HBO with the comedian Pete Holmes. It was called Crashing, but it got canceled and I'm devastated. It was one of my favorite shows. We watch a lot of TV because I'm sitting here like, oh, I watch this, I watch this, I watch this. We love TV around here. You know what else I'm watching? You guys are going to make fun of me. This is such a guilty pleasure and it just totally shows my age. But they're doing like a version of The Bachelorette with Pauly D and Vinny from Jersey Shore. That is the most train wreck of train wreck shows I've ever seen, but it is hilarious. So I'm not going to call it a must watch, but if you're a Jersey Shore fan, it is so funny. So funny. Set apart, me too. I get devastated, actually. We used to be huge fans of the show Suits, but the last season has just kind of gotten... I was a diehard fan, and this last season didn't hold my attention at all, which was really disappointing. It's really good from the beginning, though. If you've never watched Suits, it's on Hulu. Give that a go. Yeah, the energy drinks add up. Dan and I were looking at our budget for the month, and we saw how much we were spending on energy drinks, and I'm, like, horrified. We have to cut some things here and there just to kind of... I need a new work camera, so I'm trying to save some money to get a new camera for work. I have like my dream camera and it's just time for me to upgrade. So yeah, okay. I hear people all the time tell me to watch Shameless, but it's triggering to me. There's a lot of family issues and family strifes that I just can't get into it. It just lights up some stuff in me that I don't want to revisit, unfortunately. But I have heard that Shameless is really good. It's just not for me. I want to like it. I'm trying to think what else we watch religiously. We really like Naked and Afraid. That's a good one. Yeah, Shameless it triggers me. It really does. This Is Us, I've never watched. Hi, Kathy. This Is Us is one of those shows that I think you sob, cry every episode, and I don't know. The empath in me probably can't handle that, and probably shouldn't. But I've heard it's really, really good. I love My 600-Pound Life. I watch that show over and over and over again. It could be an episode that I've seen 3 times. I'll still watch it, and I'm still just as invested. Yeah, same, Mimi. I can't. Like, I can't. No, Claudia, because I use my phone. So some of them will upload HD. The professional camera equipment that I have for work is just really, really heavy. So it doesn't work for vlogging for me. Maybe I'll give This Is Us another try. Like the episode of The Resident that I was talking about that was about childbirth, I swear to God, Dan and I were both, he's going to yell at me for telling you this, but we were both sobbing. just crying. It was like painful, but also just such an important message. Oh, yeah, I do Wild on Netflix with my nephews, and they love to pick The Adventure. It's so much fun. That show's so cool. I haven't watched The Good Doctor. How can I put this? I am leery to watch shows that have autistic characters. Now, as an autism mom, you might be like, but Amanda, your sons are autistic. I would think that you'd like to watch it. But to be perfectly honest, what sometimes happens for me is the way that autism is portrayed on television is very, very unrealistic to what the day-to-day life looks like for people on the spectrum. So sometimes I really like it and it makes me feel empowered, and I'm super happy that there is a character with autism and it's being portrayed in a great way, and then sometimes it upsets me. So sometimes I avoid it just because I'm like scared to watch it. Does that make sense? Does that sound really dramatic? Those of you that are familiar with autism, maybe you're an autism mom yourself, maybe you're on the spectrum yourself, maybe you just love someone who loves someone on the spectrum. The reason it's a spectrum is because everyone is so dramatically different and their strengths and weaknesses are so dramatically different. It's very, very difficult to watch how autism is portrayed because I think everyone thinks, oh, they're autistic. What is their superpower? What is their brilliant mind? What is their thing that they can do? Like, what is their magic power? A lot of people with autism don't have a magic power, you guys. It's not like that. Not everyone on the spectrum is Rain Man, you know? Not everyone on the spectrum has some incredible super power gift. They just don't. So we are very... I don't want to say fortunate because, you know, what you're dealt is what you're dealt, and this is not a game of luck, but we are prideful that our sons, for the most part, are on the higher functioning side of the spectrum, but we definitely have a lot of daily struggles, and I don't talk a lot about what my kids' superpowers are because it's not always like that. It's just not always like that. And I think people have been misled to think like, oh, they have autism, they're going to be a surgeon when they're 6. That's not always the case. There are going to be a lot of people on the spectrum and a lot of children on the spectrum that are intellectually delayed, that maybe have a lower IQ, maybe they have an emotional issue attached to their autism. It is a very slippery slope. So I am very, very careful about how I talk about autism and how I talk about my children and our personal experience. And I am very, very empathetic that journey and that voice is different for everyone. So I don't ever want to be like, look what he can do. It doesn't matter. Am I proud of my kids? Hell yeah, I'm proud of my kids. I'm amazed by them on the daily. But part of being in the special needs community and getting to know other people is that not every single person that has a kid on the spectrum has this incredible story to share with you about their incredible intellectual ability, because that's not always the case, and that's not the case for every kid. So I'm like careful about how I talk about it, and I hope you guys understand that. I'm getting a little emotional even now. Not angry or anything. I just sometimes have to remind myself and remind everyone else that everyone's challenges, on the spectrum or not, are going to be different. They just are. So, there's that. I've been recommended The Good Doctor a lot though, so I might give it a go because I really, like I said, I really do love medical channels or medical shows. So, here's a fun thing. I'm not even complaining, Donovan. Get a grip. What was I gonna say? 2 of your 3 boys, how old are your sons? Yes, that's exactly it. Thanks, Cherish. Exactly, Darren. Exactly. Exactly. And that superpower might change day to day, minute to minute, year to year. There's no telling. Like, for example, Levi, my youngest, he's 3.5. He'll turn 4 in October. He can read. And not just like there's a word, like kid can read. And it's mind-boggling and it's incredible, and he knows words that I probably didn't know until I was 10 years old, and I'm amazed by him on the daily. Lincoln is just now learning to read, so he's 4.5. Now, the funny thing is, Levi basically taught Lincoln to read, so it was in there in Lincoln, but he didn't figure it out until Levi started reading, and Lincoln was like, oh, I want to read, you know? So these are these little superpowers and these little things that their amazing minds are capable of, but it's so different. Yeah, kind of set apart. I mean, I think my whole thing is that a lot of people have a tendency when you talk about autism to immediately be like, "Oh, what is their obsession? What are they obsessed with? What are they brilliant at?" And for a lot of kids on the spectrum, there is a lot of things that they're brilliant at and a lot of things that they are just incredible at. But for the reality is that a lot of kids on the spectrum don't have that. You know, they don't have that. So it's one of those things that you just don't, it's not the first thing you should ask as a question. It's just not, you know? For some parents, the most impressive thing that their kid is going to do that day is not hit somebody. And that is just the reality of this very vast spectrum that we all are coping with. So I have a tendency to not brag on my kids' abilities because it doesn't change who they are. It's just something that they're capable of. Like yesterday, our biggest victory of the day is that my kids ate a grilled cheese sandwich. They're very picky eaters. That is one of their afflictions. They're both incredibly, incredibly picky. So new foods is not a thing around here. They would live off of chicken nuggets if they could. Chicken nuggets and fruit. But yesterday, I got a hair across my butt and was like, I'm going to make a grilled cheese sandwich because who doesn't love grilled cheese? And they ate it like crazy. So that was a huge victory for yesterday. Some days they're going to read words like parallelogram, and some days I'm just going to be happy that they took a bite of something new. So, yeah. It gets emotional. It gets emotional for me because, yeah, Misty, my kids, I'm very, very lucky. Our children are both verbal. They're both conversational. Levi struggles a little bit more with his words than Lincoln does. But a year ago, Lincoln wasn't talking either. So we'll see what a year looks like from now. Levi has hundreds of words, but they're not super communicative yet. Whereas Lincoln, you can have an actual conversation with him. But a year ago, 2 years ago, we thought they would be nonverbal. There were no words. So, therapies and time can change everything for people. We're very, very lucky. As all parents are. I mean, kids are amazing. They're just amazing. All kids. I'm just sitting here thinking about them. Aw, thanks, Rosa. Thank you. I try. It's really hard. Being a mom is really, really hard. Being a parent is really, really hard. You know, there are days where I'm crying in the shower. So even if it seems like I have it all together, I assure you that I do not. I do not. I love them so wholly for exactly who they are. Like, exactly who they are and exactly who they end up being. And whatever life brings our way, I will tackle. And I will help them. And I will be there for them to understand them better than anyone else ever will. And, you know, as a parent, I feel like we make a lot of adaptations to our emotions and adaptations to our daily life just to be the best version of, ourselves that we can be for them. And it's just changed me so wholly. It really, really has. It's changed me. Aw, thanks, guys. I try. They're spectacular. Like they love in a way that I never could have imagined. They're very empathetic and kind and sweet, and they just bring me so much love. I'm so, so lucky. I really am. All parents are. I don't feel like that every moment of every day, but I definitely feel like that every day. Definitely. I missed you guys. I'm glad I popped on here. Aw, thanks, Patty. I love you, Misty. We'll talk soon. Yeah, it's been really, really crazy trying to navigate everything, and I just don't know how. I don't know how to do it all. When I try to really do it all, I get overwhelmed and I get anxious and I'm filled with anxiety and stress, and that's just not what I'm aiming to do here, you know? So if it's been a few days and you guys are missing us, you just have to know that I'm super crazy and I've got a lot going on, but I'm able to just, pop in and say hi and let you know what's going on and let you know that everything is fine, because like I said, there was a lot of you that reached out and were concerned. There's nothing bad going on. I'm just bananas. Yeah, weddings every week, Christina. Every week this time of year. I do feel pressured, though. I do feel pressured sometimes. I think people get, where have you been? And, I love being a part of all of your keto journey and all of your weight loss adventures. It means the world to me, but I can't do every day. There's just no way. There are times of the year where I am able to get up a lot more, but right now I can't. So a couple times a week is really all I've been able to do, and hopefully something changes where that is, not the case. But for now, I just need you guys to hang in there with me. Speaking of which, I am going to get out of here. I have some work that I need to do, but I wanted to pop in and just say hi and tell you guys how much I love you all and how much we are grateful for your support and your love. And we will see you as soon as humanly possible. We need to do a keto box review. This keto box this month was amazing. And I haven't showed it to you guys yet, but I wanted to do it with Dan because the keto box unboxings with Dan are way funnier than when I do them by myself. So maybe we'll get to do that later. I hope. I love you guys. I hope you have an incredible day. Don't forget to come and say hi to me on Instagram. I respond to all my DMs on there. Thanks, Christina. I am just grateful for you guys. I really am. So I love you, and we'll talk really soon. Have the best day ever.